Hello, guys. Welcome to Young, Clever, and Wealthy, and where I interview the shakers that decided to live an extraordinary life, and so you can learn how to live that on your own. Okay. Today's guest is Argin Gerigorian, a 26-year-old entrepreneur who was killed it on Amazon, having made more than 10 million in sales annually. At least that's what I know. So, Argin, welcome to our podcast.
Thank you, Arman. Thanks for having me, man.
So please tell me, introduce yourself a bit more. That was short, and before that, I want to tell something to my audience. Argin is one of the most genuine guys you can find on Amazon, selling and being a mentor in Amazon, because like you can see his content. He's not going after selling courses. He's just worried about his business, growing it, adding zeros, and if he can help someone, he's gonna help someone. And that's the type of people I want to interview. That's why I considered he's like a great fit for Amazon, and that's why we wanted to make this happen. So yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
I appreciate that, and I think that's true. There's a culture of just wanting to make money, selling anything and everything, and I think it has to be in line with who you are and what you know. A lot of people are just flexing what they don't know. Maybe they learn something on YouTube and repackage it and then sell it. But yeah, so that's the consulting side and whatnot. But yeah, just from e-commerce standpoint, I've been in business for over 6 years, and it's been a roller coaster. Trying to figure it out. Initially, not doing anything big. Buying stuff on eBay, buying stuff from Walmart, online closeout sites, anything that I can find that is a good price. And then obviously just understanding how any marketplace works and going very deep into it, whether it's eBay, Shopify, Amazon. It's not just Amazon that you can make money off, I'm sure. But my particular thing was Amazon, so I bought from other places, sold them on Amazon using their fulfillment center. One thing led to another, got introduced to Alibaba and Chinese manufacturing, and then the rest is history. Just started bringing containers of product, pallets of product with my own branding, and then selling it on Amazon, and now on our own website and Walmart and eBay and anywhere else we can sell.
Awesome. So were you always an entrepreneur, and like how did you start? You said the wholesaling, like eBay stuff. That's how you started, or like tell me a bit of your coming up.
So I don't know if I was always an entrepreneur. I think it did start earlier, right after high school. I loved business. I was going to college for accounting and / business administration, but I just soon realized school wasn't the route for me, and it was kind of at the point where, again, all this internet stuff is happening, like social media is happening, Amazon FBA is happening, eBay's happening, everything's kind of just coming up, and I obviously hear it because I'm online, and none of my friends are entrepreneurs. I was thankful right after high school to meet someone from church who was doing e-commerce. He was selling dropshipping shoes online, and asked him some questions, got the hang of the ropes, started selling shoes myself, getting in touch with wholesalers, going to trade shows selling shoes. But I don't know if I was always an entrepreneur. It's something that I built up and worked on, and now I can't go back. Once you taste the freedom it gives and the money it provides, then I can't ever see myself being an accountant or working for someone.
Yeah. Very interesting. Continuing with that story, I have to do some research. Amazon, the nature of Amazon, whatever. Turns out that you grew a store or an account to 7 figures, then you had to start all over again. Tell us a bit about that experience and what did you learn from it?
Yeah, the first store actually didn't go to seven figures that I had to restart, but we were close. Probably like 700,000, and then Amazon actually shut down that account. Um, there was customer complaints, bad product, defective product, just a host of complaints that Amazon shut down the account for, and pretty much had to remove all that inventory that was at Amazon. Uh, After trying to get the account back open. It did get open, but it took a while. So I had to remove that inventory, set it up on a different account, and sell through. So pretty much that business shut down with the inventory in place, got it back, revamped it, restarted again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Understood. So roll with the punches and just keep going. Figure it out, right?
Yeah, the only way you lose, I think I heard Grant Cardone say this. The only way you can lose is if you quit. That's maybe one aspect of being an entrepreneur is it doesn't that like bad things are good, as contradictory as that sounds. Like failure is good because without that, then it might have grown, and then at some point it has happened still. So yeah, you roll with the punches, take it, learn, try not to do that again, add another layer of protection to that business, and just keep improving. Every day is I treat it like it's day one, and you just have to keep progressing and keep learning.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're gonna talk a lot about FBA. So before that, I think that what makes a person successful is the habits, is the discipline, is what he does every day. So my next question is about that. First of all, reading. Okay, what tools do you like? What were the tools? And my question is, what are the top three books? Sorry, that accelerated your way into success. Like, what big books can you think of?
Right off the top of my head, I think the Bible, in the sense of giving me a foundation of how to view the world and how to just if I read the book of Proverbs, there's a lot of things that says the foolish man does this, the wise person does this, and it lines up with a good worldview, in my opinion. I think that just as a foundation, as a kid growing up, it set the stage, not just as an entrepreneur, but as a human being who's doing business. Because then it gives a foundation for ethics, what's right and what's wrong in business, and to actually make money. Like, talks a lot about how to make money. The book of Proverbs is filled with how to make ethical money. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a good read. It's a good read. The second, from a business standpoint now, the Fast Lane Millionaire, I think it's called, by MJ DeMarco.
Mm-hmm.
That every young person, entrepreneur, everyone should read that. You don't need any other book. So if you don't need any other book, the third one, if I'm trying to think. There's a lot, but maybe something that's jumping out, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I forgot who the author is, but
yeah, it's okay. I'll put the links or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that one just stood out to me because we're so enwrapped by what other people are thinking and what this person says if you start this business, or if you post this on Instagram, or if you post this video, or if you do this podcast. Our lives are kind of wrapped with this mindset of like other people judging us, and this goes in depth on that and says you have to find what you want to do and who you want to be, and bring that out to life. Those three are top of my head that came up. I'm sure that there's a lot more.
Mm-hmm. Following with that, is there we talked a bit about this previously, but is there any big or apparent failure that is your favorite because it set you up for huge success?
I think that Amazon account closing was a pretty big failure that I learned from. The other was one of like the first or second products that I imported from China had a design patent on it.
Oh wow.
Before that, I wasn't checking whether these products are patented or not patented. Brought it in, same whole thing. I think it was like 2,000 units. It was a blanket, and started to sell, get some reviews. Everything's going well according to plan, and then boom, get hit with the legal letter. You're violating our patent. But again, it was a good lesson. Ultimately, we had to pay some money, get rid of all the units that we had, and this was like the first week that we started to sell.
Oh.
They hit us with that letter, so pretty much lost that inventory and had to pay the company some money for infringing on their design patent.
And now I'm guessing that you're super on it every time, so it doesn't happen again, right?
Yeah, not only does it not happen, but now I'm going the route of getting patents myself.
So you're the one suing people now.
Yeah, I haven't sued anyone yet, but just working on design patents, getting your own, making your own product, making it unique, and then protecting it online. And yeah, if you get big enough and other people want to mess around, then yeah, I don't mind suing them.
Of course. And watching your Amazon videos, okay, a quote appears, okay, that says, why devote our lives to halfway measures? Okay, that is from Seneca. From what I've researched, he happens to be from Spain, born in Spain. Can you explain that? Like, what does that quote mean to you? Or yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people just, let the wave of life kind of just take them here and take them there, and they go to school and they get a job, and nothing is. I try to get down to the bottom of what I'm doing and build from first principles. Like, okay, why do I want a business? So I can have a lot of money, so I can impact the world and make it better in the way that I see fit, and like I want to go super in depth on that line of thinking and devote my life to that. And then if other things interests come up that I like, for example, I love basketball, I love working out, health and fitness, I want to go 100% in on those as well, so just devoting our lives to excellence and trying to make the world a better place. A lot of people are just doing it half-ass, I think.
Mm-hmm. Wow, very, very powerful, very powerful. Like, just to give an example to a person with that same line of thinking, let's say sports. Like, what is that all-in mentality? What's that concrete? Like, for in any concrete example, what would be for example?
In sports, I think a good example was Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Tom Brady. Like, they almost got like taken over by the bat. Like, now if you watch a Kobe Bryant interview, you can tell he was so much into basketball that he knows nothing. He doesn't know about anything else. Like, he devoted his life to a full measure, and some could say he's one of the best players ever. And everyone else every other player that talks about him, work ethic every day, through injuries, everything that adds up to that, the ice baths, the preparation, not eating whatever they want to eat, all that stuff for 20, 25, 30 years. There's a lot of those examples in sports, but I think those guys are up there.
Awesome. Great response. And moving a bit into we spoke about the books, and next would be the habits. Like, which habit has like favored you most in your life?
Habit. Um, I think I can't think of a habit off the top of my head, but I think waking up early. Every time I've woken up early, I haven't had a problem with that day. Obviously there's been situations that come up, but I felt like I've been able to get a lot more done when I've been able to wake up early, and I mean like 5 a.m.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, like that's a great answer. That's a great answer. Like, well, you get started before everybody else. That's it. Period. Right. And
Yeah.
and beliefs. Is there any belief that like really improved? Like once you started believing that, like it went huge for you.
Yeah. Another good book that I read was Think and Grow Rich, and that taught me a lot about visualization, the law of attraction, believing. It does sound a little woo-woo at first when you read it, but now one of the things that I'm doing is a lot of visualization, and I do believe that I'll be, I mean, quote unquote successful, but I'm thinking big success, like big companies that impact the world in a good way. I do believe that will happen. It's just a matter of when. And everything now is a process to that step, and it's a continual process. Success isn't a end point; it's a day-to-day thing. But in terms of, again, my beliefs and how I want to impact the world, I would love to have companies that are having a bigger impact than just selling a product that already exists in China,
Yeah.
in the States. I want it to be a bigger mission than that.
Great.
So as far as that, I definitely believe that. Yeah.
So you heard it here first. When you get to 100 million, this is gonna be the first interview. So hey, there you go.
I like it. Yeah, we definitely heard it here first.
Now let's go into Amazon FBA. Okay, like I have, I'm coming. I didn't want to. The other things I researched, I didn't want to research because I wanted to come naive into this and let you teach me things about it. So first of all, my preconceived notions is that it isn't that good of a choice because you don't own the relationship with the customer. And then isn't it that dangerous? I think I'm sure there is something I'm not seeing, of course, because I'm not in there. So what would you tell me about? Isn't it dangerous? Like, tell me, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. It was dangerous. All the things that it is dangerous for happened to me. Account closure, not being able to get customer email address. But again, at the end of the day, in the States, 50% of all online sales happen on Amazon. So that's more than half of the people, making their purchases on Amazon. So at the very least, every physical product brand has to have a presence on Amazon. And now, there's different ways of doing Amazon. The way I do it is I sell it myself, and I have Amazon do the fulfillment. There's another way where you can sell it to Amazon. So you get your product and you wholesale it to them, and now you're not at a risk of suspension, or you still don't have access to customers, but it's just an outlet. Now you're just selling products, just like you would to Walmart or Target.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing you could do is let's say there's a big brand, and I'm the Amazon seller, and the big brand just sells it to me, and then I'll sell it on Amazon for them. As far as the customer access, yeah, I mean, it's their platform. If me and you were running Amazon, I wouldn't want to give access to customer email addresses to our sellers either, because then they're just going to pull them off the platform. So that side, it's their platform. It makes sense. That's the reason why they're a $1 trillion company. It is what it is at that point. But I think third-party sellers account for, I don't know what the number is, but it's well over $1 billion dollars in sales, well over.
So, just to clarify a bit on, you said what were you doing? So you said you had products in Amazon stores, Amazon fulfillment, and you just simply shipped it to your customers, right?
Amazon shipped it to our customers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when we hold it at their warehouse, they handle everything for us.
Yeah, but like the traffic and the clients is from like a Shopify store you own, right? That's what you're saying.
The traffic on Amazon?
Since I don't understand, that's probably a thing.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
do you list it on Amazon or do you use only the fulfillment side of Amazon?
No, the listing is on Amazon. The fulfillment is done by Amazon. So let's say there's a coffee mug on Amazon, and $19.99, and it says Prime. If you see Prime, then that means they ship it from their warehouse. But then that's my listing. So if it's my listing and they ship it, right when it ships, I'll get the profit minus Amazon fees and the fulfillment fees. So the listing and the fulfillment is done on Amazon.com.
Understood. And providers, right? Getting to, I'm sure you've heard this news. Amazon now, not now, probably like 2 years ago, started going directly to Chinese suppliers, saying, "There you go, you're not in the picture." Like, is that still happening? And how do you combat that? Like, what's your strategy? If you can share that with us, I don't know.
Yeah, those are like almost big picture stuff that I think about, and obviously you want to see what is going on, but I'm not sure if it's a big concern right now. Like, the marketplace is so big where there's still a lot of room for cutting out the middleman and Chinese guy. But yeah, in 10-15 years there might be a huge problem, because every product might be like $5-6 because of how much they're able to buy, and they create economies of scale at that point. But I try to control what I can control. Like, the best time to build a business is right now. Like, I'm focused in it again day to day. Once that problem comes up, see how we can adjust and move forward. Hopefully you can make enough money off this venture to have it be successful. The good thing with private label and developing your own products and your own brand is you're making the sales, you're making the money, but the biggest money that you'll make from this is when you go to sell. And e-commerce businesses have great valuations right now. So when you go to sell the company, you can easily exit with high seven figures, and now you go dump that in other business, investment, property, another e-commerce brand, whatever it might be.
Okay, so you said something very interesting, which is you focus on the things you can control. So what are the things someone can control? Like, looking from the inside, what can you control?
Your supplier relations. So you could definitely have better supplier relations in negotiating price, negotiating what quality of product they're producing, negotiating whether or not they're selling to your competitors. Having a good supplier relation is key. And then obviously on Amazon side, you can control your negative reviews. You can control how good your listing is. You want to make sure the pictures are highly optimized. Get a lot of reviews. Your advertising, to make sure it's being done well. Obviously, you control who you hire, who you fire. That's a key component of the business. Things of that nature. Just anything that's part of your business that can be tweaked or adjusted, you have to look at, measure it, and change it if needs be.
Great. And like we're going, I guess, to the Amazon gurus. Okay, now, like, what are some common mis misunderstandings or bad recommendations they give, and like what's your take on that?
Yeah, that's a good question. This again goes back to people not really being in the business. Everyone on social media or YouTube that you'll see, if they're making 500 videos on how to sell on Amazon or how to do Shopify, just think that they probably don't have the time to be going deep in their business and understanding what it is that they're doing. Why do I say this? Everyone will say, okay, how I made 100,000 on Amazon in 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
But that 100,000 is kind of deceptive because they're talking about the top line. Okay, you sold 100,000, great. What's your profit? So it could be drop shippers, I can guarantee you, are doing 10 to 15% max. You know, so if all these Shopify dropshipper bullshit, complete bullshit, are saying I did 100K in 5-6 months. By the way, it's saying this meeting has in 5-6 months, but what's your profit? Like, what did you take home from that? And same with Amazon. Everyone's just trying to say like, hey, I made 100,000, so buy my course, which it's kind of fallacious. Like, you have to know what the bottom figure is, and then people jump in, they start doing it, and then see, okay, I spend 10K on inventory, and then now I have to sell that for 6 months. Maybe that first initial investment, you're breaking even because you have pictures, you have fulfillment, you have fees, advertising, all of that stuff people kind of overlook, and it's actual business. Like, you have to buy the product, and then it's gonna sit for a while. You're gonna sell it, and then you have to reorder, because if you don't reorder, you're not gonna continue to sell. So if people just think you're gonna come in, make whatever, how much amount of money, and then go out. It's not like that.
Mm-hmm. So it's 2019. What advice would you give someone starting right now, doing Amazon FBA? And to go a little bit deeper, which I think, like, also you made, I just want to showcase this to the audience. You made such a great point. Is like, if you're making so many sales, you're so good at FBA or whatever, like, why are you uploading 500,000 videos telling how to start selling your course? That I didn't think about that, but yeah, that's such a huge point. So, advice for people starting, and like, what added your top, like, add Argin's gem into it, okay?
So top advice for someone wanting to start now?
Yeah, Amazon FBA, yeah.
Okay, so it depends on like self-awareness. First, okay, so are you fit for this game? If not, that's totally fine. You can do 1,000 other things. Second, what's your budget? If you have $1,000, you can't buy 1,000 units of a product and then sell it. So I would say, like, minimum, if you want to get into private label, owning your own product, 5 to 10K. Have that investment. If not, there's a different way of doing e-commerce. That's the way I started. You have to hustle, find products at a cheap price, and then flip them for hopefully a profit. So that's called arbitrage, where you find product lower somewhere and sell it higher on Amazon. Or if you have a little bit money and you have good people skills and sales skills, and you can talk to people, then I would recommend wholesale. And it's dynamic. And that you would have to go to trade shows or get like a list of wholesalers online from a trade show, and then contact them and say, maybe like you go to a toy show, or you go to a toy show website and you see all the brands that are there, and then you just go one by one, contacting the brands and saying, hey, my name is Arman, I'm a toy retailer in Spain or wherever, and I would love to carry your product. And hopefully at that point you have some kind of a website that you can show for, and then you have to build that relationship with that wholesaler to say, hey, can I sell this product on Amazon? Most of the time they're going to say no, because they know this game. I think those three are the biggest. arbitrage, wholesale, and private label. And you just have to know where you are with money and with yourself.
Hmm. And how do you say, like, what could you tell people so they could differentiate from all the, because I think looking from the outside, the number one thing, a lot of people would have the same product. The thing would be differentiation. So what tips would you give on differentiation for new people coming in?
Yeah, that's a good question that I've been trying to figure out myself too. It's okay. So if I'm doing research and I see a product has three 3-star reviews, say it has 100 3-star reviews. One technique I'll use is going through the negative reviews. If that's the product that I'm researching, going through the negative reviews, seeing what customers are saying, and see if I can improve on that or make that aspect of the product a little better. Let's say it's I don't know, the shaker cup, and this thing keeps opening. Like the review is, okay, this top keeps opening, so I would need to figure out how to keep this closed. Maybe it's like another layer that comes on and keeps it closed. Another thing you could add, maybe it's like a dial that you measure how many times you drink water. I don't know. Like you just have to see the reviews, see what other people are saying, and then kind of have some creativity. The basic stuff could be color and patterns, but you could go more advanced and add some widgets too.
Mm-hmm. Great. I think that's it for Amazon. Lots of great tips there. I think the main thing for me was like go deep, like go really deep into it, if this is what you really want to do, and going like again on personal like stuff, like you moving up. Like when you feel overwhelmed or stressed or lose focus, what is that you do to regain that, keep going?
The gym and basketball have helped a lot. Every time I'm stressed or like I'm just stuck here trying to work out a problem, but I don't have like the answer, just have to step away and do something non-work related and then come back, because sometimes our brains are a computer. Think of like they could, if you overwork it, it could kind of just crash and not have a solution. So there's another book that I would recommend called Deep Work. I posted it recently on Instagram by Cal Newport, and he talks about doing work in spurts of 2 to 3 hours. Focused, non-interrupted work. So if I'm doing product research on a specific brand, no email, my phones are off, no distraction. I'm like zoned in on that for 2 to 3 hours until I do what I need to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
If you're distracted, if a phone comes up and you're looking at it, your attention's going here, and then there's a residue. Now you forget what you were doing here, and then you're like, okay, what was I doing? Okay, let me check this email. Okay, let me do this. Like all this irrelevant stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's happening, there's a lot going on. I just like to step away, kind of relax, and then your brain kind of comes up with the solution by itself. You come back and you're like, oh, I didn't think about this, and I don't know. It's a good method. Stepping away, getting some exercise, getting the heart rate up, and sweating, and then I meditate in the sauna a lot.
Oh, cool.
After the gym, that's probably the best like 20 minutes of my day. It's like no noise, hot. Like you're just focusing on breathing and getting clear, and I love that part of the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you just clear your mind, focus on breathing, no thoughts, and just right.
Yeah, I've been. I this is my first year getting introduced to meditation, and I don't know about it, but I'm trying to yeah, just focus up and clear everything and focus on breathing and not try to bring like too many thoughts in my head, but just focus on being in that moment. And then once I'm back into my problems that I have to solve in life, and then I don't know, you just have a better attention towards that. I guess it's hard to explain. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, great answer. Next one would be we're wrapping up, okay, and the next one would be like, what's next for Argin? Like, what does he want to do next? What are his evil plans to conquer the world? Let us know.
Oh man, evil plans on conquering the world is where Jeff Bezos is and Elon Musk are. We're not close to that. But next for me, e-commerce is. I'm sticking with it. I think it's the future. I don't have any qualms about it. Obviously, if the price is right to sell a specific business, I would. But right now it's growing, and why not? Like I rather build it for the next 10 years and then sell and then make even more money. So e-commerce is going. I'm doing consulting for smaller to medium-sized businesses who have no presence on Amazon or don't do advertising on Amazon, and then a little bit of social media consultation for them as well. And then the recent business my partner and I started is a fulfillment business, which is kind of a warehouse, and we do that for our products and for clients' products as well. And that business is called Ship Depot.
Okay, we'll link it in the description.
Sure. Yeah, if anyone's interested on that. I also help people who come in as a client on the fulfillment side with their Amazon or Shopify or whatever. I treat it like a relationship, and I'm really wanting them to grow as a business. But it's kind of in line with e-commerce. It's not something completely different, but that's something that I've been focusing on. And then as far as investing, I'm just diversifying. I'm getting into real estate, and then just learning more about how to protect the money that you're earning, pretty much. And in Millionaire Fastlane Billionaire, I don't know which one it is, but he talks about that too.
Mm-hmm. Great. Houses in LA, I don't live there, but I know they're expensive.
Yeah.
So
expensive. I mean, you have to start somewhere. Real estate is the best thing you can buy. As far as it might lose its value once in a while, but it's always going to go up. And again, you can buy it, you can sell it, and then keep moving on and getting more.
Mm-hmm. And before the two last questions, there is something like very curious to me, which is I don't see, how can I explain this? I don't like the people that are killing it are not very much on social. I know people that are making like tens of millions or millions even. They're no Instagram presence, no nothing. Like, is that the route? Like, what do you think it is? And do you want to follow that route? Like, what's your plan in the social media field?
While that is true, there are also people like Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone, Gary Vee, millions of names, right? Andy Frisella, who social is, I mean, it's attention. You're getting in front of millions and millions of people's eyes. If those people who personally aren't on social media, I guarantee you their businesses are on social media. And while they might not be running it, the business presence is on social media because your audience is there. So if you're going for a personal brand, if you want to do that, that's fine. Maybe some people will say, what's the asset of the personal brand? Like, you have to be backing something up for the personal brand, which is 100% true. But your business has to be on social media for sure.
Mm-hmm. And your social media plans, do you plan on adding more content related to Amazon?
That's the thing that I'm debating is I rather focus on my brands, the physical product brands, and grow those social channels and start. We are running advertisement on those, but on the personal side, I kind of want to do it just to build that personal brand and the trust and the reputation online. But I'm not planning on like spending money on the personal brand side just yet, and develop. But I just want to connect with people, network, and build like a good community of like-minded people.
Mm-hmm.
It does happen. Like that's Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, our Facebook group, other Facebook groups that I've joined because of social. Like it's definitely helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great. And the last question before wrapping up would be, what advice would you give to young Argin, period, to get faster to where you're now?
Yeah, it's the really laser focus on whatever problem you want to solve. I think um, if you're going into Amazon, focus on Amazon related things that produce the most money, and then just keep doing those things, and then everything else that comes up, like the social, the Shopify, eBay, everything that's like periphery that could make some money, but you have to now learn the skill and be good at it, is hire those people for that. So you just get good at one thing, maybe a couple things that you're really, really, really good at,
Mm-hmm.
and outsource or hire the rest.
Great answer. The last question would be, where can people find you and connect with you?
I think the best way to get a good response is Facebook. Argin Gerigorian at Facebook. You can message me. I'll get back to you. But if you Google me, I'll probably come up on YouTube and Instagram. And if you message anywhere there, I'll be glad to reply and try to help you out.
And apart from the platform you're creating for shipment and all that stuff, which we're gonna leave in the description, anything else you want to mention?
Our e-commerce consulting business is everydayecom.com. So if you guys want any help, I'm willing to do free consultation calls, and also help you out with anything that you need. Feel free to reach out and we'll talk, and I'll try to help you out.
Perfect. So thank you so much, Argin, for being today with us. And
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. And to you guys, talk to you next time. This was Young, Clever, and Wealthy. And when you have 100 million company, okay, what happened?
I think it just logged you in and out again real quick.
Okay, then I'll have to cut that. But it was in a great moment. So